Say mama. Not you. Say mama. You're sassy. No. What's that doggy doing?
Well, hello there, partner. Go on and hang up your hat, grab yourself a whiskey, and pull up in the easy chair. We're coming off the range of 9 to 5s with a whole herd of news stories that we've been steaming over like a cow patty in the Texas heat. As they say, the chickens are finally coming home to roost. And we're here to ruffle some feathers and ensure accountability ain't just a concept, it's reality. It's that time where the day's drama casts its longest shadow. So let's light a candle to the chaos of current events, the whirlwind of politics, and the tangled webs of corruption that we find ourselves entwined by. It's time to ramble our way into the twilight. Welcome to Sunset Rants.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday edition of Sunset Rants. I am Tay. Here is my buddy SkrappJaw. How you doing today, bud?
I'm doing fine. They haven't found my name in the Epstein files yet, so I think I'm still free and clear.
Thank God. I'm just waiting for mine to show up. So
it's probably on there in there about 6 or 7 times. So
thank God. Well, if I'm under 9, I'm happy. But how was your weekend? How was your Super Bowl?
I watched a Canadian band play avant-garde math rock stuff. To cleanse my palate of what happened over Super Bowl. I didn't watch the game because I'm not a sports ball guy. So sorry, y'all. I'm not that American. But you know, I'm a musician. I'm a performer. I don't enjoy watching people lip sync. I don't really enjoy overdubs and things. I like performance. So, you know, I had some criticisms early on about the TPUSA that as I sat and thought about it, I was like, TPUSA, they're used to putting on a stage production where they have like 3 days to set up and tear down an agenda, and they just lay back and they do it. The Super Bowl is decades of just perfection of getting things on and off the field in under 30 minutes.
It took them like 9 minutes to get that whole stage up.
Yeah, apparently. So really there's only like 20 minutes of actual performance sometimes, you know. It's like 10 minutes split, 5 minutes on either end of it. There are some epic Super Bowl performances. I was going back and reminiscing on some of those, watching like Prince's, even though it was just basically Purple Rain. Well, who cares? Yeah. It's Prince. But, you know, TPUSA did a great job on picking people that were not controversial. They did a good job of putting a stage together. There were some rough spots in the way they cut the film and pre-recording it and then airing it. But, you know, and you could go on and on with all the things they did wrong, but overall, I think they gave people a decent, let's just say it, a decent option instead of watching,
I agree with you.
Watching what was gross about the things that were shown on the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. You know, like the NFL, like for that production, like they've locked it down. So it's like you really can't compare and contrast, but they were able to deliver something else. And then apparently it was the largest live stream on YouTube ever in American history.
I think it was like 2. It's like in the top 2 or 3. But compared to, did they hit number 1?
I literally saw it probably like 2 minutes ago. I was looking at it.
Cool, because not all the final numbers had been in between Real America's Voice aired it, TPUSA aired it, and then the Charlie Kirk channel also on YouTube. But then once you add those up with all of their viewers that were on Rumble, on those that were live, it probably what was the number that it came out to? Last I knew,
43 million.
43 million
Average. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that was the average for those channels.
Because what I saw was a max. It was like 6.8 million, but that probably was not being updated. The whole time. It's probably higher on the replays, but from the live, actually watching it live, the highest I saw it go to was 6 million or a little bit over, which still puts it at like the number 2 watched live stream while being broadcast on YouTube.
Yeah. I was watching just for reference. It was a YouTube short, like Benny Johnson. It was literally just like, one of those 30-second things, and he was going on like where the information was coming from, what company. So that way they're like, it's not just like some Joe Schmo's whatever. It's like Samba TV or something. And I guess they're like one of the big companies. It's pretty interesting, what he was saying. But you ready to just jump into this?
Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's do this. Oh, also, team, we kind of got carried away on that one. If you like what we do, please, like, share, subscribe, do all our stuff. You can go check out our merch, all our different channels, riseofmiddleamerica.com. You'll be able to see all our different stuff there as well.
Yes, sir.
So let's see. First one is coming from the Hill. Johnson said he plans to view unredacted Epstein files. Speaker Mike Johnson said on Tuesday that he plans to view is it a tranche? A tranche. That's the first time I ever heard that word like that. Of unredacted. Tranche. That's a French ass name. Of unredacted Department of DOJ files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. DOJ allowed members of Congress to review the unredacted versions of more than 3 million pages of publicly released Epstein files starting on Monday. The push to release the files was led by Rokana. Have we ever talked about that person? No. Democrat California, Thomas Massey, Republican Kentucky. But lawmakers and victims had raised questions about how Justice Department officials had gone about redacting certain information. When asked by MS Now whether he has an interest in reviewing the files, Johnson said, "Of course, I have an interest. For me, it's time." And I've got Chairman Comer and many other colleagues that are going down the comb through that. Chairman Comer will do it himself. I have a lot of faith in him and his ability and his team. The lawyers of oversight are going through it, and members themselves, as you know, it's unredacted and available to everybody. I intend to go down myself. Right now, I'm trying to keep the train on the tracks, and we've got to do all this stuff simultaneously. As I said, that he is convinced that the DOJ is complying with everything they're required to do. We still have a pending report where they will give us, where they will formally explain why some redactions are made, but I think it's a good move for them to put the millions of documents in the SCIF so that members can go in and see and verify for themselves. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but there'll be like some pages that are, pretty close to just being like the same pages, but like on page like 1,000, it'll be the same page on like 100,000, but certain things are redacted. And so there's been people going back and just like overlaying the stuff, so they're able to actually view like all the unredacted things.
I haven't heard that. I saw where some of the PDFs were generated in older versions of Adobe, and the early versions of Adobe didn't have the ability to properly redact. And so basically just for clarification, what a PDF, almost said the other word.
Yeah.
A PDF is not a text document. It is an image file, is a type of an image file, and it's in layers. And so the early versions of Adobe the redacting bars to cover up the text literally was just a layer over the text for printing.
Yes,
It
I know
didn't
what you're
actually. It was a what we call non-destructive redaction, and so it didn't destroy the data. It just put a black box over it. And so what they did was, instead of going through and flattening all of the PDFs in the modern format, some of the older PDFs, the redactions just don't matter. And so the internet's already went and scraped all those up and pulled the redactions off of the ones they can. But what you're talking about is redundant documents. Like some are
Yeah.
just redacted and then some are not redacted. They're just different versions of the same document over and over again. That happens with data when you don't have good data policy and someone just copy pastas a bunch of stuff, or maybe they grab a document and they make other notes on that document and then they save it separately, but it still has to stay within the same, like
Yeah. When you
group
have,
of docs. We're gonna have that. We're gonna have redundancy all through
especially
these.
when you have like 3 million files, that's just, there's not one person who's going to be able to acknowledge that, like, before it got like, sent out, who would be able to realize all of that?
Right.
Now, could there have been things like to, kind of figure that? Yeah, sure. But I don't know. I don't know if it would be. But no, this whole thing has been a complete, just looking at this, has been a complete.
Basically, what I'm gathering from this article is, and from what I've been seeing about all this Epstein stuff, they're pretty much trying to take over from the DOJ. Instead of allowing these cases to be investigated and tried in a court of law, they're trying to bring all this into the court of public opinion. And that's really my end take on a lot of the Epstein stuff, is that's what's being had here is Dems and Republicans alike. We're just like, you know what? Dump it. Nobody's going to know what to do with it all. They're just going to go on and people are going to dig through it. They're going to read names on documents that they don't understand how those documents came to be. They're going to see email chains that make no sense. Unless you're somebody who knows how to go through that and understand what type of file that is, where it came from, what kind of procedure it came about through in a legal sense, or if it's just a document that existed on like an email document. And trying to figure out what those conversations are. There's so many holes in the narrative that it's going to be a long time before somebody makes real heads and tails of this. But in the meantime, it's just
I like it because it's just a huge, like you're saying, like release the whole thing, court of the public opinion. So if it's just like, just a whole wash, and then everyone, who did bad in this, if just it's completely, what is it? It's like non-prejudice. It's just everyone's getting released. So it's like everyone got it.
I like Hardy's comment. Isn't millions of documents what weaponized autism is for? Yeah, but weaponized autism is not immune to bias. It's not.
Yeah.
Weaponized autism can be good. It's better than just a bunch of people going through and going, oh, I see this guy's name next to that guy's name and this thing and the other. I think this document trove is only going to lead to more questions and not really get any more answers, personally. And Congress going through it. Congress, these people were out there putting AI-generated images with headless ICE agents on the floor when they were making their speeches.
This morning, as lawmakers prepare to view the Department of Justice.
I did not see that.
Yeah, I saw that when we were a couple weeks ago. When the Alex Preddy was killed in the for interfering with the officers. Well, in the
Yeah.
context of interfering with the ICE agents. He wasn't killed because of it. He was killed in the midst of it. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
The pictures that were used on, I believe, the Senate floor or Congress, somebody had a big blown up print of it, and it was an AI manipulated version of a still shot, and one of the officers had no head in the AI shot, and it's bad. So I have no faith.
People are just loony.
I have no faith. Well, no, put it this way. I have absolute faith in some of these trash representatives to do stuff like that with the Epstein files and to completely misrepresent information that's in there, as well as not understanding information that's in there and just going, well, this guy's name and that guy's name, and I can spin whatever I want around this. We still have to have law and order. We still have to have investigations. You can only charge people for crimes of which there's evidence for. And if it's just sketchy, well, guess what? It's just sketchy. Sorry, you can't prosecute people because they're adjacent. Let's be real with ourselves, MAGA.
Yeah, they were saying something about that in the Bannon interview.
Yeah, we can't.
Like that.
Don't even bring Bannon into this. I'll be triggered. There are other reasons for me to
Totally
talk about
understandable, but that
Bannon.
was a reference.
I'll talk about Bannon another day. I'm going to leave that for Friday's episode. But no, we've been called right-wing adjacent and alt-right adjacent and Nazi adjacent and blah, blah, blah for so long. It's like, is that not what people are doing now? Oh, he's Epstein adjacent. Epstein ran Compromat. He ran hedge fund, money laundering, all kinds of stuff with intel organizations. You think he's not going to want to increase his scope and ability to communicate with people and have contact? Come on. All right. We could go on. We could turn this whole night into just complaining about the Epstein files.
We complaining. Oh, my bad. I didn't know this was a we thing right now.
I know it's me. Well, there's another one, so I think we can move up to the next one.
Yeah.
Let me grab this one for us. Is this the ABC one? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I lost my page here. All right, I'm trying to pull them up over here so I can kind of zoom and scroll. Well, we got Howard Lutnick, Trump's Commerce Secretary, faces calls to resign over Epstein ties. Let's go. Let's dive into some examples instead of just spouting off the cuff here. Howard Lutnick, key member of President Trump's cabinet, is facing bipartisan calls to resign over new revelations about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Documents released by the Justice Department late last month show Lutnick remained in contact with Epstein as recently as 2018, years after he pleaded guilty to sex crimes, including soliciting prostitution from a minor. Quote, Look, Howard Lutnick clearly went to the island if we believe what's in these files. He was in business with Jeffrey Epstein, and this was many years after Epstein was convicted. Lightly sentenced, but was convicted for sexual crimes, Thomas Massey said. So here's what I'm saying. Let me show you the framing Massey's giving us here. Mm-hmm. I like Massey, but he does things, and he's very particular the way he says stuff sometimes. He's saying he clearly went to the island if we believe what's in the files. That's
just
rough speculation.
That's an assertive alleged. Like, you can't be guilty just on assumption.
Right. Even if you're doing business with people who are convicted of crimes. Like, you still may not be involved in those things with that person.
Yeah.
We're talking about people that are in politics and government things. And what was the business he was in? In business with Jeffrey for, what did it say again? Did it even say? No, it didn't even say yet. I mean, keep reading. Maybe it'll be in here. And all it says here is he's got a lot to answer for, but really he should make life easier on the president and just resign. Let's see. Transparency. They're calling for transparency on the matter. Let's go down past Massey's face here. Robert Garcia, Oversight Committee, quote, it's now clear the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, has been lying about his relationship with Epstein. He had no interactions with Epstein after 2005, yet we know they were in business together. So that contradicts the earlier statement that he was in contact with Epstein as recently as 2018. So which is true? One guy's saying he was in contact well after he was, and one guy's saying he wasn't. So they're out for blood right now. All right, here's the other quote here. So I was never in the room with him. Here's what Lutnick said. I was never in the room with him socially, for business, or even philanthropy. If that guy was there, I wasn't going because he was gross. So he's pushing back on the Pod Force One podcast there. That's my story. A one and absolutely done. Commerce Secretary. Okay, so if he's in the midst of commerce, it would make sense because Epstein did hedge fund stuff with Bear Stearns. I mean, that makes total sense that these guys would have been. But here he says, one email from Epstein's schedule from 2011 showed plans for drinks with Lutnick. Other docs showed Lutnick and his family planned to visit Epstein's private island the same month. Both Lutnick and Epstein invested in the same business. Okay, so there's coincidence here. Okay, maybe he went to the island. Maybe he didn't. Do we have the evidence of this guy doing crimes? No, we have evidence of a guy hanging out with people who did crimes.
But, it's not always guilty by association. But at the same time, I've been pressed to just, form an opinion just because I didn't like someone, and then the guilty by association. So I would be lying to myself if I said I didn't have an opinion like that. But also I'm not here, writing to ABC News as some high profile person about this.
Yeah, here's the other thing they're trying to do down the rest of this article. I was talking about this House Oversight Committee. They're going to subpoena these people. It's going to be dog and pony shows until Trump is out of office. I guarantee you.
That's all they can do. But at least now they have this stuff to the information that's out to where it's there cannot be any alley. It can't be oh, maybe this, maybe that. It's nope, it's all right here.
And I'll say the same thing about trying to pull Bill and Hillary Clinton in. Dog and pony shows. But Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon went to prison too, because he needs to go to. They need to go to prison, and really, guys. I mean, at some point we just get tired of it, and we have to. Yes, I agree. If they're gonna equally apply the law, they should prosecute the Clintons for not showing up. But what are you gonna do to some older people now that are up there in not just in age, but down in their health?
Yeah.
I mean, who cares? They're going to go off. They look ragged. Let the Lord sort them out when they pass on beyond this realm. I'm just tired of I'm tired of the procedural. The punishment is the procedure. The punishment is the process. Process is the punishment in this lawfare kind of public opinion.
If you were anyone else, yes. If you were anyone else, it would 100% be. For example, there's this. I know me and AK were talking. Or was it you and I, or was it the three of us? We were talking about this guy in Florida, down here in Orlando, older guy. He started his own armory, and then some people from New York, which he was allowed to sell lower. It's either lower or upper too, or lower upper receiver. And then now he's sitting in jail for years, just waiting on the process, and they just keep putting it off. He's a normal person. He's just going to be sitting there in prison, just waiting. And then they're oh, okay. Yeah, no, it was just a mistake. And he's 60 something years old, 70 something years old. That is the true punishment, like you're saying. But for these people, they're not going to be stuck in a prison. They're going to be able to keep doing what they're doing. Hello, everybody. I'm just now actually looking at this.
It's crazy, but wait, that's not the only person in the world that's facing losing their job over pressure. Britain's about to lose another prime minister. What? But wait, there's more.
There's
You
more.
take this
So,
one.
say what?
Go ahead, take the this one from the UK.
All right. So, come from The Guardian. When Boris Johnson resigned as the British Prime Minister in 2022, he explained that the politician who had once loyally supported him had turned against him. This had sealed his fate. The herd instinct is powerful, and when the herd moves, it moves, he said. The same question is now being asked about Keir Starmer, Prime Minister since 2024. But his Labour Party won a huge majority at the general election. The resignation over the weekend of his closest aide was just the latest. Random ad. Let's see. It's a series of calamities that have been befallen his government over the. Trying to replace myself over the last 18 months. As a result, that political herd is definitely restive and frustrated, and it has not moved against Starmer en masse yet. The consensus among most political pundits, including those who write for The Guardian, is that Starmer's tenure as prime minister is coming to an end. So this is almost like an opinion piece, if that's the case. And you're just saying, maybe, I don't know. Starmer is already the UK's sixth prime minister in 10 years. David Cameron stepped down in July 2016, was followed by Theresa May, Johnson, Liz Truss, and Rishi Sunak before Starmer took the job in July 24. Many members of parliament in his own party agree Starmer's time is almost up. A few have dared to say so publicly. So, many members of parliament. That changed on Monday afternoon when the leader of the Labour Party in Scotland, Anna Sawar, became the first heavyweight figure to call for him to go. There it is. That's it. Distraction needs to end in the leadership of Downing Streets. So, I don't really keep up with too much of that stuff over there, but why is his time up? You there? Did you freeze?
Oh,
there.
Sorry, something. I was distracted with something that came up.
Oh no, you're good.
My bad. My bad, people.
Let's see. Nobody followed Starmer's lead, and within an hour, pretty much all of Starmer's colleagues and his cabinet of senior ministers declared he should stay. It looked like the coordinated attempt to shore him up. The prime minister's position is nonetheless quite perilous. Morgan McSweeney, his chief of staff, who resigned on Sunday, is not a household name around the world or in Britain. His importance, though, is unquestionable. He's a political strategist who has been credited with catapulting Starmer into power. He identified him as a potential leader of the Labour Party and was responsible for devising a plan for Labour landslide win for the general election. Just trying to go if there's anything else around here.
The UK has just been in turmoil. They can't keep anybody together. The problem that I've seen mostly with the UK's prime ministers is they're all just
Middle Eastern
talking heads. They're just they're puppets. They don't really have anything of their own to lead by. You know, Britons, not the people who are there from the Middle East, but Britons, and
I'm surprised they haven't had
are really upset with.
I'm surprised they haven't done a civil war.
No, they're too. They can't. They got no guns to civil war with. They got nothing. They would have to. They'd have to go. Don't even get me started on that. They're so.
They cut themselves into submission. They were once the most powerful nation in the entire history of the world, and now
they're inept. They can't do anything anymore. They're being strong. They're in a stranglehold with. Brexit was a thing, but it was a day late and a dollar short. Brexit was a day late and a dollar short.
All right,
here it says in the millions of documents reporters have found, emails and details make clear other prominent British politician Peter Mendelsohn had been very close indeed to Epstein, or was Epstein close to him? Okay, because we're not being shown the emails. There's a difference. Because when you're doing intel and you're doing compromat, you want to be close to people in order to catch them up. Like, this is the largest trove of compromat that was just dropped on the entire world ever seen in history. And not even in like legit compromat. Like, it's just names of people doing, sending emails back and forth, doing business of which we have no idea what most of that is. We have an inclination. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying there's no seedy underbelly stuff. I'm just saying there's not actionable evidence within what we've seen so far. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's still 3 million files. That's,
They used the word tranche in here too. Huh. The latest tranche of documents released 10 days ago suggests his description was far from the truth. In fact, they two men were very close. So that in 2008, when Mendelsohn was a senior member of the previous Labor government, he allegedly shared with him market-sensitive secrets. I mean, market-sensitive secrets? Okay, so remember the last article, commerce, markets, market-sensitive. Okay.
But when you're at that level, like,
this is the kind of things that Epstein was into.
Yeah, he was the top of the top, the tippity top when it came to all of this. I'm trying to see.
Oh yeah. So this guy says, rebel with no yell, this lady. She says, hello, I was late filing out tax forms for the 4547 to get my kids that Trump account. Yeah, I've been hearing about that. I might have to go check out that Trump account. Maybe that's where we get our tariff tax refund.
Oh yeah, isn't that like you get like $200,000 or something for like a college fund?
I don't know what it is. I'm gonna find out.
It's like if your kids are born like within a certain amount of years, like a small bracket, you could essentially create like a trust or a hedge fund for them. Some pretty cool stuff. I didn't know if it actually like solidified as an action, but I do remember hearing something about that.
Yeah,
it is. If that's what it was.
Not sure, but I'll tell you what. Somebody's in trouble with this next story. Oh my! So much trouble.
You can't hear it, but our producer's giggling.
Oh, he's absolutely having a ball with this one. National Guard soldier leaves a rifle in a French Quarter bathroom. Incidents particularly concerning given last year's Bourbon Street terror attack is still fresh on people's minds. This is from 4WWL. This is New Orleans. Louisiana National Guard confirmed Monday that one of its soldiers left a service rifle in Bourbon Street bathroom while on patrol in New Orleans French Quarter. About 350 National Guard soldiers are currently on patrol in the quarter as an extra layer of protection supporting local law enforcement. Probably doing ICE stuff, right? On Sunday night, riot stuff, it's carnival season. Okay. Got their beads out. Sunday night, the guardsmen went out to Lafitte Hotel on Bourbon Street to use the bathroom. Picture posted on social media shows what he left behind. A service rifle leaning against the sink. French Quarter residents who saw the post were troubled by what could have happened. I feel bad for him because it's one of the main rules of being in the Army. I would think you were always supposed to have your weapon in your hands and not in somebody else's. Said Nervous Dwayne. That's a great name. His name
that
is
trip
Nervous
is in
Dwayne.
so much shit right now. He's in so much shit.
Oh yeah, French Quarter performer named Nervous Dwayne. I bet Dwayne was nervous seeing a rifle in the latrine. At least you're in the right place if you pee your pants. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
The incident was
I wonder
particularly
what's gonna happen
concerning
next year. I
given
wonder if
last
it's
year.
this year.
Okay, keep talking about the Bourbon Street terror attack. And this is something I must not remember. Must have slipped by me at some point.
I don't remember it. I literally don't remember any of it.
Okay, so the weapon was returned to the Louisiana National Guard, and the soldier in the incident are being handled internally. Yeah, that serial number is attached to you, son. You're not getting away from that one. Quartermaster is not happy with you, sir. Neither is the brass, and it's about to come down to tax.
Do you
I'm not talking about the season either. Okay, what's
it's
up?
called like the jail, the brigade or something?
Going to the brig, son.
Briggs.
Be court-martialed. Something like that.
Shit.
Man, this guy's is not good. Look, firearms are not something you want to leave laying around. It'll probably be less on him because it was returned. Imagine if somebody had walked in there and just said, "Ooh, shiny." I mean,
Yeah, he probably totally forgot. Like he's like, oh, and then he just totally forgot where he put it.
I'm gonna peek at my producer down there. I almost want to nod up and down or a left and right if that's a fully automatic piece of hardware. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a little bit more than an NFA item considering it's military owned. It's an M4. It's not just an AR-15. It's either an
Yeah, no, that
M4
has
or an M16. That thing has
that has
got
the
select fire.
fun trigger on it.
It's got the giggle switch, son. They're gonna. We can laugh about it because it got returned. If this thing was out in the streets, we'd be, come on, guy. Still, come on, guy. Don't just walk in there. I get it. I get it. When you go to the bathroom and you want to meme on the libs and you gotta wash your hands, you gotta put your stuff down. When I go to a bathroom and I'm carrying, sometimes, you know, if I don't have a shoulder holster, which would be really great for office and you got a jacket or going to the bathroom. But when it's appendix carry, you got to have a nice, strong, stiff belt because when the drawers go down, that gun can flip and fold your pants. And if it's not secured right, it can go down and now the barrel's pointed up and that's where you are.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful about a pistol. This is a rifle. I mean, the guy could have slung it up over his shoulder for crying out loud.
To take a shit?
I mean, when you go in to take a Duke, you could just hang it on the hook if there's a hook on the door, you know, or prop it up next to the toilet thing, you know. That right there was the sink. That was the sink.
Yeah, it's really like your knee can touch it. Yeah. So what's going on? So they say one of the persons here, they said these guardsmen are here for an extended period of time and they're working many, many hours. You see them all the time going backwards and forward on foot and, you know, just making the area safer. So it is a mistake. It's a pity it happened, but mistakes happen, some said. That's it.
Yeah, guys, keep hold of your rifles. Keep hold of your firearms. Watch where you're pointing that thing.
Yeah, definitely would out of jail if anything bad were to happen to him, that's for sure.
And you know what? This is going to be one of the shorter episodes we did because it is time for
something different.
Nope. Isn't it time for the next thing? We've got a bump here. Is there a bump? Waiting for the bump. Where's the bump?
What? Oh my god, that's so cute. So apparently, someone in the luge had died yesterday or today.
Skill issue.
User error. Damn, did you really just say that? That's such a shit way to die.
You win some, you lose some. Too soon? I couldn't help it.
There's a bobsledder, maybe?
Man. All right. Ooh, this is kind of fun. Trash pandas in an ice torpedo. What is this? We gotta have some. Dude, come on, chat has got to have this one down.
Yeah, so apparently it was like,
These are danger. These are real danger. If everybody remember Cool Runnings?
no, they're going like 80 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour or
Dude,
something. You just hit straight into a concrete pole.
that first go down in the real thing when they competed, when Jamaica's bobsled team competed, it was like that was real stuff. They got hurt. You don't walk away from something like that easily at that kind of speed. It's pretty gnarly. Yeah, the Trash Panda for the gold.
I got a good one.
Now, I've seen a lot of the Winter Games have produced a lot of clips on the internet. Like these speed skaters. Did you see the speed skaters that got the backside of their outfits tore out? Oh, those chicks need to put a couple extra layers on. I'm just gonna say, they need to put a couple layers on with those, because the one chick fell, and when she went way off track into the wall, butt first, legs up, and when she flipped over, there was nothing left on her backside. Her whole suit was totally just shredded. Dang. Ice is not fun to fall on, man. It is not. It's not like falling in a skating rink with roller skates.
It's sharp. I'm only here because the women's team's got thick thighs.
You guys are on the thrill of
truth.
Winter sports are great. They're redonkulous. I was a swimmer myself in school. That's generally a winter sport for some reason. It's just the season for it. You're inside, heated pools.
Yeah, I did some swimming, and I did swimming, diving, and water polo, like in between, like my other sports. Just because I was like wrestling cross country, so I just did it for like the cardio. But it was a lot of fun. No joke. Let's see. I fell on the ice playing ice hockey with the family. I think I stayed on the ground for 5 minutes. Not my thing. It hurts. Like, it's not forgiven by any means.
Trash Pandas for the gold. Keep going. We'll totally blend in. Do I have... I don't know if I have I don't have a chat window up. I was going to throw one in there.
Hey, quick question. Whatever happened to that one content creator, Elijah something?
Elijah.
It's like tall guy, kind of hefty, very clean cut hair.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Trying to get to the chat. What content did he do? I'm still lost for who it is.
I don't know if he was like Turning Point or if he was in the same circle as like Turning Point and Daily Wire and like all of those people. And he would do like interviews on the street. You've definitely seen him before.
Here's one in there. It says, we'll show them who's trash. That's fun. Elijah Schaefer. Oh,
That's
he was he was Blaze and Sydney Watson.
Mhm.
He went to Alex Jones, didn't he? Did he go to Alex Jones and then like he completely went off? He crashed out.
Is that what happened? I'll have to look up. I was just thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. What did she said? What was her take on him? Because she was the one where, she was reading the super chats when Jack. Oh, what the heck was the guy's name? He had the beard. Jack guy with the beard, not Jack Dorsey, the other Jack that turned out to be
Oh, the alpha male guy. And it turns out like he was like
super cuck. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he had wrote articles about his wife's boyfriend and it being cool that she went out and did that.
Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. I totally forgot about that guy.
And then he crashed out over it real hard. And then she read super chats because that was their thing. And she's like, I'm going to read these super chats, like it or not. And they were about him and he cussed her out. And then Elijah kind of like didn't do nothing, didn't back her up or anything. And
it's not his relationship. He shouldn't be.
I don't know. It was all bad. It was all drama.
Yeah, that sounds weird.
All drama. I think there were a lot of accusations of like, there was a whole bunch of falling out in the Blaze network with them. Every workplace has, I will say I'm fortunate my workplace doesn't have that kind of open, flagrant, harassment back and forth, but I've been in them where it's been bad and some people think it's cool. Other people are under the impression that it is when it isn't. And then you end up.
Yeah, everyone has a different thing, but there's always a line that has to be recognized no matter what. You know what I mean? So what are you feeling so far for these pictures? He was on the Blaze. That's right, Rebel. Thank you. Which one are we looking at? Trash Panda for the gold. Come on, Jamaicans can do it.
Appalachian bobsled team. I like that one, Brian. Jack Murphy.
Jack Murphy. So apparently the final number for the Iranian protesters is out, and it was 30,000 that were killed.
Yeah,
actually,
man, that's hateful.
For reference, Hamas claims 60,000 deaths in 2 years, when this was 30,000 deaths plus in 2 days.
We'll show them who's trash. So the Appalachian bobsled team, I think has a ring to it.
I'm for that.
Elon Gonzalez. I know you can't win. Somebody else put it in. How about shoot. This game we play, putting a caption to these images. This is a good one. what was like? We could get Guardians of the Galaxy references in here. We used to have a bunch of people coming in and
I miss it.
throwing stuff in the chat. It's kind of been lean. It's been lean for a while. Look, if the chat votes for Appalachian bobsled team, it will override the producers inability to or ineligibility if it works. Prayers for those 4 people and the suffering they went through. So sad. Yeah. Hold on. Oh, here's another one that popped up. Woke Olympic Commission allows furries at the Olympics. We couldn't get through this episode without furries. Oh no. One for Trash Pandas. 2 for Appalachian Bobsled. I think the chat can handle that. We got enough of us in here. It's tough to caption the cute animal ones.
Yeah.
We need a vote. Gotta have that vote. Oh, we need the vote. Gotta have that vote. Let's see. We've got a couple
Appalachian
of
bobsled for me.
We got Appalachian bobsled. We got 2 Appalachian bobsleds in there. I know I was leaning on that one. Bandits. Bobsled bandits. Stealing first. Bobsled bandits stealing the gold and the podium. Wow. See? Okay. Producers like, can we use that one instead of me? Who? We're trying to be fair and balanced, you know, like the news.
Appalachian.
I think it's Appalachian bobsled team. It's fine. We'll go with it. It's fine.
Is it Appalachia or Appalachia?
Appalachians, Appalachia.
So there are different ways to like
You say it. A lot of people around here say
Appalachian.
Appalachian. We just kind of, it's how it works.
Disappearing forest.
Brian, the producer, reluctantly takes the win.
Ugh. I am pooped. I do not know why.
You know what? We may all get replaced at some point when it comes to coming up with captions. Oh, this is funny. This was our something different. I just now noticed it in here. I apologize. Be leak address. We could put it out. Something different. I can get this, Brian. Don't worry about that. Unless you're gonna flip the share to it. Here it is. I apologize. But what's the something different? Oh, you're still on the other. I see it. He's scrolling. Bonobo Tea Party. Study shows humans aren't the only species that can pretend. Maybe we need to get some bonobos in here for some captions.
Wait, aren't those like chimpanzees that are like 6 feet tall and like some like crazy monstrous like man killers?
They did it. They did a tea party. This is Kanzi. She's 43. A set of experiments, researchers offered bonobo named Kanzi invisible juice in grapes, presenting the test of some kind of a game. Well, every time they gamify anything with these with apes, like they play along as long as they're getting some kind of a reward and some that in that interaction. They're primates. They have a little bit
smart.
More, they're very
They're going through their Stone Age right now.
She could play. So the published in the Journal of Science on Thursday said she could play along. Researchers concluded that the primate could imagine and track invisible juice being poured between a pitcher and bottle. She's able to follow along, track the location of a pretend object. At the same time, appreciates that it's not actually there. I don't know how you quantify appreciation in that context, but with animals that don't communicate verbally like we do. But in the past, scientists assumed that the ability to pretend and consider multiple realities was unique to humans, but then some other observations of primates behaving like they were pretending, young chimpanzees playing with a log doll or moving imaginary blocks, called the idea into question. The new study provides the first evidence of an animal pretending in a situation researchers could control. We think our ability to imagine other worlds or other objects or imagine futures is one of the rich features of human mental life that are presumed to be unique among our species. But apes might share some of the foundational cognitive machinery that will enable at least some degree of imagination. For the new study, researchers modeled the experiments loosely after common childhood development tests. In the first years of life, you see kids engaging in pretend play. Oh, yep, that's neat. Have you ever seen like your dog fall asleep or cat fall asleep and they meow and twitch and while they're sleeping?
Yeah.
And like it's like you think they're dreaming.
Maybe they are.
So, to think that that's out of the realm for animals pretending. How do you think you train dogs? For hunting. Reward, right? But they know that there's a difference between the real thing and the fake thing. It's not that animals are not so dumb that you have to. I mean, wasn't there early on? I think in the 90s there was some studies with chimpanzees where or even just they had a little baby, like the fake babies that little kids carry around, or like when home ec you take care of, right? There are videos on giving apes these fake babies, and they
do the same thing. They'll treat it like their own.
they cart them around like, oh, it's so cute. They cart them around, but they're not alive. Do you think that these animals don't know that they're not alive? And then we're just now doing a study that says, oh, they can do tea parties. Cool. You've proven that animals are smarter than we give them credit for yet again.
No, they what's it called? There's a troop of chimpanzees. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it's chimpanzees. There's a troop of them. They took banana leaves and they tied them around their face and they made a mask. And they did a heist on a fruit truck that was going through the Congo or some shit.
No.
I swear to God, they had spears and everything, and they literally just had leaves, the holes cut out, like in the eyes. They looked super silly, but like apparently, like the concept was them doing that so they wouldn't be recognized.
No way.
Swear to God.
Gang of chimpanzees. Chimp gang ambushes a banana truck. There's no way this is real.
Yeah, what up, phone?
Western Uganda's Kambale Forest. Holy mackerel.
Isn't it wild?
I gotta find the actual art. Like, I don't want to dox my Facebook.
Let me see if I can find it.
It's probably it just might be fake because I'm only seeing it on Facebook. It might just be some slop. Yeah, all I'm finding is I'm not finding any. It says chimps use spears to hunt other primates. I found something of that nature.
I mean, maybe it is fake. I don't know, because all I'm seeing is on the same thing. Well, there's one on YouTube. Yeah, I just saw it in passing, so maybe it's not real. But if it was real, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I am surprised by it.
But they are using tools and making spears
fires,
for war against each other. They're not building fires and things, but they are going after each other.
Fishing.
You know, and fishing and stuff. Just remember, every time we go to war, we're just engaging our chimp brain. We're just killing each other, using tools as chimp brain. I don't believe in evolution, but it's neat. It's neat to see that, you know, we underestimate nature, and you know, when you go into these places, you have to be careful. Animals are smart; they're not dumb.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Not dumb. I tell you, dumb. Going to riseofmiddleamerica.com and checking out all of our other stuff. That's not dumb. That might be the most intelligent thing you do all night. There it is.
I like their site. I love the colors. I love all the stuff.
It's got that retro vibe.
Yeah, I like that
vaporwave.
Miami Vice.
You know, I met Jan Hammer's son. Jan Hammer was the guy that wrote the Miami Vice theme song. The band I played in opened up for Jan Hammer's son. Jan Hammer played keys for Mahavishnu Orchestra, like 70s prog rock band. Played keys. His son looked just like him. Anyway, yeah, riseofmiddleamerica.com. You can find all of our recent posts, our crew. You can show our support. You can buy some merch, tees. You can buy some t-shirts, mugs. You can buy tank tops.
Got some
Sunset
cool
Rants, Rumination stuff. I like baseball tees. Baseball tees are my favorite. And you can even buy the meme shirts. The caption this shirts. Do we still have some of the caption this shirts on there? There's some Sunset Rants hat. Look at that.
I know we had a purple and pink one. I gotta buy that. Still haven't.
Yeah, there's a couple of our captions. Can we get that one blowed up? Baby the Dog Hunter.
I don't remember that one.
Or Dog the Baby Hunter. That was Dog the Baby Hunter. You had to be around for those. A lot of these have been around a while. They're jokes that you gotta go back to the other stuff. There's even AK's face. You get AK's face if you go up there to the right. Hold on. Yeah, there he is. Right on. Our favorite guy. All right, Tay, what you got to say?
Nothing. It's finally, it's nice to finally have like just all the stuff that we've been questing for years and years and years. I was having a conversation with my father. I was like, man, like after all this Epstein stuff is done, it's just like there's no more conspiracies anymore.
Alex
Like,
Jones. Make Alex Jones weird again.
bring him back. He's almost right about almost pretty much everything. So, which is I find pretty amazing to see, because he's such an eccentric man. But yeah, no, it was a pretty chill night, all things considered. But that's good sometimes. Everyone had a pretty long weekend either way, like all the drinking on Super Bowl and whatnot. But you got anything else you got to close out with?
No, just keep an eye out for anything interesting. Oh, if you want to see some interesting stuff, just like a side call out, go look up Mike Benz, Benz, Mike Benz. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast. And he was on Rogan. He has his own stuff, but he goes deep into some of this Epstein stuff. That's not what you think. I'm convinced that the Pizzagate QAnoner stuff it's the big psyop, it's the big LARP, it's the big distraction to keep people from actually knowing what's going on and paying attention to what needs to be paid attention to. So go watch Mike Benz.
40 checkers.
Oh, I'm playing. I'm ready to solve some Tesseract style.
I was about to say,
Solve a
how did I
Tesseract.
know you were going to say that?
We have such things to show you. Anyways,
team, thank you for joining us. We always appreciate you. First time here, we love you. Bajillion time, we love you just as much. We will see you on Thursday, 9 Eastern. Same idea. It'll be me and AK. Do we got anything going off tonight? We got at the drive-in tonight?
do we have the drive-in for this evening? Producer, do we have a drive-in later for this evening? Yeah, should be.
If we do, perfect. But then, yep. So me and AK will be here on Thursday. 9
Tomorrow
p.m.
is Biddy and
D. Yep. So tomorrow's Biddy and D. Then I'll be on with AK. Then we'll have the sports show, and then it'll be your show on Friday.
Yep, me and AK, Rise of Middle America podcast. 9 or 10 o'clock, whichever one we decide on in the moment.
But team, much love. See you then.
Peace out.
So I got to thinking, there's MAHA, Make America Healthy Again. MAGA, Make America Great Again. But what we really need to do is make America follow the Constitution again. Motherfucker. That sounded better in my head.